when we're sitting here through Zoom, our faces are like 10 inches away.
Right.
It's it's not like that. It's not that we're far apart. Like I can see your oil marks. I can see your dimples and your pimples. And oh yeah, sorry, Steve.
It's okay.
But you can really see and talk about being able to communicate empathy. The Surgeon General of the United States put out a statistic the other year saying that 51% of the American workforce reports being lonely on a consistent basis, which is equivalent to the reduction of lifespan of smoking 15 cigarettes a day, 7 years off your life. And that was then. I can't imagine, what it's going to be now. We could see 70 to 80% of Americans reporting being lonely on a consistent basis through all of this. As we see companies, shifting their work from home policies and downsizing their real estate footprint, are people going to go through a massive upheaval of how they connect face to face with individuals? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I can tell you right now, I've been living on Zoom. I don't know how it's been for you, but I do notice the difference. Like, cause I've been consulting and coaching for many, many years. And I noticed how much longer clients stay with me, or I'm able to help them more when I've used Skype back in the day, and also like, WebEx or GoToMeeting, but Zoom is it now. And the more that I use that, I've had people I've worked with for like 5 years, and I've only seen them face to face 2 times. And I remember for one client, first time I saw them, I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, no big deal. And then I realized, wait a minute, this is the first time we've been together face to face, because I had the illusion that I had been with them because it was like this, So it's interesting, just being able to use video. So we're in this place of technology where it can help. It's not an equivalent exchange, but it definitely is better than not having to see you,
Yeah. I'm certainly not against it right now. We figured out a way to use it for good. We figured out a way to help people transfer emotion right through the screen. And I'm pretty impressed, to say the least.
Go ahead.
No, a dear friend of mine, Cal Fussman, he really taught me how to step into the screen. And what I mean by that, Cal, when he was a kid, he had one life goal: interview Muhammad Ali for a sports paper. And he accomplished that goal when he was only 18 years old. So, what's left to do with your life once you've achieved, it? So he took whatever money he had in his pocket and he sailed off to Europe. And what he ended up doing is he spent 10 years in Europe, floating around on the kindness of strangers, interacting face to face, staying in people's homes, getting to know their history, their stories. And when he got back to America, he knew he had accumulated so much wisdom that he had to do something with it. And he started a column eventually at Esquire magazine called What I've Learned. And it became one of the most popular columns in the history of Esquire. And when the 2008 financial crisis hit, Cal's boss called him up, a hugely popular column. He called him up and said, "The travel budgets have run dry. You're going to have to do your interviews face to face via Skype." And Cal said, "You can't do that to me. I can't interview Mikhail Gorbachev, Ronald Reagan, Muhammad Ali, etc. through technology. You can't do that to me." But he did it. And as he told me the other day, Cal did, that when we're sitting here through Zoom, our faces are like 10 inches away.
Right.
It's not like that. It's not that we're far apart. Like I can see your oil marks. I can see your dimples and your pimples. And oh yeah, sorry, Steve.
It's okay.
Oops. You got a great light there, whatever that is. No, but
thank you, brother.
You can really see and talk about being able to communicate empathy. You are now stepping into people's homes, right? You know that I have a red barrel. Now you know that I have a backyard. that would have never come up in conversation.
Right.
And so, empathy and gratitude is obviously the two things that we care about the most in this world. I think you can really transform relationships for the positive using this technology.
It's so amazing. The feedback, I'm 100% with you. And you know how you said we're having these things that the reason I was giggling for a second there, because you said that you're shocked or surprised. And so like in my workshop, I'm all about connecting with humans. And I teach the sales class, but really, if I boiled it down, it's about connecting with humans. That's all it is. That's what I teach. Because sales, if you actually just connect with someone and then you make a real experience, then you're really not selling. You're just finding developing a need. So in that class, there's a spot. And I usually don't tell people this publicly because it freaks them out when they come, but I'm going to say it because it's totally prudent to this. But I have this thing where they stare into someone's eyes for about 10 minutes. It's actually 2 people, 5 minutes each, but it's and then there's some guidance to it and all this. But I was like, how is this going to work? I'm going to do it through Zoom. I've never done this before. And then we did it. And I had a couple people that have taken the class before, and they actually said it was more profound overall because they could see everyone's face. You know how like when you're in a workshop or even if you're sitting around a dinner table, some of the people are further away. Well, with this, you can see everyone in the group. And so they actually felt more connected to the whole overall group than they did when they come into the room, which was profound for me.
It's a very, I mean, first of all, using empathy for sales, right. That's the bottom line. I've been interviewing a bunch of interns over the last couple of days, and the majority of them communicate that they used to think that you had to be rough and tumble in order to do good business. But after seeing our job application and looking up what we do, they've completely changed, that outlook. I love it. It's interesting. You talk about empathy. One of the greatest moments at our dinners, Steve alluded to the dinners earlier in the intro, and one of our favorite dinners, we do a lot of like celebrity music dinners out in Hollywood a bunch for one of our partners. And we were doing a dinner one time, and we had a bunch of founders, a bunch of Grammy Award winners, all these great people around the dinner table. And when it got to the point of the evening when people were asked to give credit and thanks to someone in their life that they don't give enough credit or thanks to, who would that be? That's our gratitude question. One guy sitting next to me, who's a famous DJ, he wanted to give credit and thanks to this guy who, after he read the book, this guy's book, changed his whole way he looks at sales and negotiations and all these kind of things. And he's got a business and he's doing all these things. He said, I'd like to give credit and thanks to Chris Voss, who wrote the book, Never Split the Difference, Negotiate as if your life depends on it. Chris was the lead FBI international hostage negotiator. His book was, easily top 5 best-selling books of 2019, still is to this day. And I looked over at Chris Stafford and I said, you realize he's sitting right there, don't you? And he's like, no shit. And Chris Voss was at the dinner as well. Every single person at the dinner raised their hand and said, I read your book too. I bought it for my entire team. It changed our entire business.
Wow.
The concept of the book, tactical empathy.
Hey there, I want to give you something really big. It's called Clear Path to Customers. It's the way that we get the right language to get the right client. I like to call them your wow clients so that you can have more results, more revenue, more raving fans, and more referrals. And I want to give this to you absolutely free. And all you have to do is go to stevenapolitan.com to check it out, or you can look at the description here. We'll put the details there. As always, remember, choose gratitude and create freedom.